Hey, B.
What's up?
Well, this video is going to piss you off.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to call it Oct1 Lies.
Oh.
Okay. There's two gentlemen here that try to explain what happened in 1 October.
Okay.
God bless their hearts. They got it all wrong. And what's bad about this is a lot of people watch this video and I think might have got the wrong impression.
Okay. Well, let's take a look.
And the reason why I want to bring this up is because they weren't there.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I'm assuming.
So who are you going to believe? Somebody who wasn't there or somebody who was there?
I'm going to lean on the side of the guy who was there.
Right?
Of course.
So this is what happens when, I don't want to say, lies, whatever the case may be, but do your research, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk to people.
Yeah.
Find out what really happened instead of conspiracy theorists, because once you start going down that road, it's a rabbit hole. And it's going to lead you different directions, because if you don't know what you're talking about, you might know enough to make yourself sound stupid. Okay? You might know enough facts to say, yeah, that happened, but then you go off this trail that's completely wrong. And I believe, I don't know these guys. I've never seen any of the videos except for this one. Not right. Not right.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
Do you want to make some pauses, or do you want to just play it through and talk after?
We'll probably pause as we go. Depends on what they say.
Steve, rolling it.
Las Vegas shooting.
Oh, yeah, the one at Mandalay Bay.
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah, of course. I had a friend that was...
If your podcast isn't already demonetized and taken off the internet yet, we'll make sure it happens now.
Oh, fuck.
You had a friend that was there?
I had a friend that left the concert a few hours before it happened. Yeah,
Lucky.
I lived in Vegas for 5 years.
Yeah, so I was like probably out traveling when it happened or something. I heard about it once or twice, never looked into it. I wasn't paying attention at the time. Yeah. And then I've obviously, now that I do this, I get like recommendations all the time in the comments, and that one comes up a lot. And I knew I would get to it. And eventually I just like watched a little documentary about it on Rumble by a gal named Mindy, who kind of like summarized everything. And it's a good summary of sort of like the base facts and all the problems with the official story. And it just like opened up this whole, like, what on earth? And I'll just do it just real quick. Like, what we're told
I want to see the problem
is there's this country music concert in downtown Las Vegas on October 1st, 2017. Okay. And then out of nowhere, this dude on the 34th or 32nd floor or whatever of the hotel across the street,
Mandalay Bay,
like way up there, it's like a couple hundred yards of a shot or something. Yeah. He's got a hotel room that is absolutely like piled to the roof with ammo and guns of every nature, like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds, and like 40, 50, 60 guns. I forget the exact number, like an insane amount of firepower. Yeah. And he apparently...
Steve.
You want to do some correcting?
He didn't have all kinds of guns and guns and guns and guns. He had 22 or 24. It was 22 or 24 rifles. Because I was there, sir. Mr. Ian, whatever that guy's name. Yeah. I was there. He did have thousands of rounds of ammo. Okay. That's actually not a lot though, when you think about it. And it doesn't look like a lot. 22 guns, 22 rifles. He never reloaded. He just shot.
I think there was, the majority of them were 223s or 5.56.
Correct.
Right. And he had a 308
that
he was shooting at the fuel tanks.
Correct.
Okay. Yep. Not a big variety of, listen, you don't want to have that many different guns, because if you're going to do something like that, you're going to have ammunition issues. You're going to have the wrong mags.
Right.
So this guy did his research. He did his homework.
The suspect did.
Yep. He knew exactly what he was doing. He practiced out in the desert. Yep. Right. So you're not going to have mismatched ammo. You're going to be very unique as far as when you get
it's a lot better to have one kind of ammo with one kind of gun, right? You can have 30 guns, they're all 223. Now this way you got one kind of ammo, boom. You don't have to worry about, am I looking for short and fat? Am I looking for tall and skinny? Right? What kind of bullets am I looking for? You know what I mean? It makes it easier to just load, go.
Yep.
All right, Steve.
smashes out the window and just starts unloading with ARs that have bump stocks, and they had to, and it's because when there's videos of it all over the place, and it's like automatic gunfire rains down on the concert, like something like 60 people are killed, this massive tragedy. It's this whole crowd of people, and the story is that he shot a whole bunch of AR rounds and some rifle rounds out of that window all on his own. There was no one else in there. He eventually decided that he was done with that and then committed suicide alone in that room about an hour before the cops ever got there, while he still had an entire room full of ammunition and guns chilling.
Correct.
Right? That's literally the official story.
Because that's positive.
And
that's the official story, because that's the official story.
The official story is that's exactly what happened. Don't read into more than it is. I was in that room, sir. I went through that door that night. One guy, correct. And I'll tell you why there wasn't other people in there. He drilled the doors shut with screws, so nobody was getting out.
In or out
of that room. He was alone. Why do we need to feel like there was more people? Mm-hmm. What are we going with that there's more people? Why it can't just be one? Mm-hmm. That's not enough?
Conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, it was one guy in the room, period.
And he did unalive himself.
And he did. And actually, I heard the shot that when he unalived himself, we all heard the shot. It wasn't an hour before we made entry into that room. It was about 20 minutes, 25 minutes before we made entry into that room, we all heard a shot.
And this is the deal. He had cameras set up.
Correct.
Right? So he might have known something was going up. That's why he stopped firing. And maybe he was ready to engage you guys when you're coming through the door. Maybe he decided, you know what? I'm just going to end it right now.
Correct.
Right?
We heard the shot. We all wondered why he did not want to have a shootout with us, the police, after doing what he did. We all thought the exact same thing, sir. We were like, wow, this guy really could have brought it to us, but he chose not to.
Well, he shot through the door at the security guard.
He shot 208 times, yep. I want to say. It was, about 208 rounds down the hallway at Jesus, the security guard.
He got hit.
Yeah, he got hit in the leg, yeah. So, probably should have looked into this a little bit more before you're going to go on
make these kind of statements.
Yeah, make these kind of statements.
All right, Steve, let's see. What else has he got?
Super weird. There's like 20 headshots in the crowd, and we're talking like a multi-100-yard shot with an AR and a bump stock. A lot of the weapons in the room didn't even have sights on them. But beyond that, the videos that everyone's posting, it's very clear that it's like a full-on belt-fed machine gun that's firing. And it's very clear that at times it sounds like there's multiple guns firing at once, multiple automatic guns firing at once. And it's also very clear that those shots are not possible. But then there's
Steve, pause it.
Okay, maybe I'm getting pissed off.
Who the fuck is this guy? What do you mean it's not possible, sir? Dude, what do you know is possible?
You're shooting from an elevated position.
Let's start. What did he say? He said the shots are impossible. No, they're not. You have there was no automatic rifles in there. Okay, there was no
butt stock.
There was no belt-fed machine guns. Period. There was not. Okay, just normal old everyday rifles.
So listen, you're shooting from an elevated position in a target-rich, condensed environment.
It's like shooting fish in a barrel.
What's exposed? The head is.
Everything. Yeah,
the head is.
Everything. Remember, when you're 32 floors up, which is about 300, 400 feet, and you're shooting into a crowd that was 400 yards across the street. That's how far it was. It was about 400 yards, a little over 400 yards. So when you're shooting down, where do you think those shots are going, sir? And you should watch our video on this, right, on October 1st, because I tell you in great detail.
Upper torso.
Everything's elevated. So it's all, when we first got onto the field, it was a lot of headshots. Correct. You know why? He's not aiming. He's not using sights. He's just shooting. He's just pulling the trigger, shooting into a crowd. But when you're that elevated, of course they're going to be a lot. Every shot was headshots, neck, chest. Yeah. So why is that hard to believe?
Yeah.
That's just
and let me say this. Let me say this. When you're shooting in a highly elevated buildings, right? there's only one way for the sound to go. It's going to echo. Okay, you're going to have some reverb, right? You're going to have some reverb. That's going to make it sound like a belt-fed machine gun, but it's not.
Right. If you're shooting inside or right outside of buildings, you're going to hear, especially like New York City, Vegas, it echoes off the walls. It echoes off the building. So you hear a guy going pop, 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 pop. You're going to hear pop, 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 because you're going to hear the echo, right? Which it might echo anywhere from 1 to 6 times, depending on what it's hitting. Then you have the original shot, right? So you're going to hear echoes, but it doesn't mean it's more guns.
Yeah.
Okay. It just means there are guys shooting the gun and it's echoing off of the buildings.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let me say this. A 223 rifle. Okay. If you zero it at, 50 yards?
Usually 50 yards.
Right?
Yeah.
What you hit at 100 is going to be the same target impact at 200, right? So 400 yards for a 223 is nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And especially when you have, like we're saying, you have 50,000 people in a very small condensed area, you don't have to aim. Point the gun toward the crowd and you're going to hit somebody.
You're going to hit people. So what do you think? You got to be a sharpshooter? You think he's looking through a red dot system or looking through his sights at 400 yards?
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Let's go. Roll it.
Yeah. Come on. Come on. Now you're just getting stupid.
Layers and layers that I won't get into. There is clear evidence that there were multiple helicopters that don't exist that were flying around in the sky that night, right over top of the Mandalay Bay. Their transponders turned off, then turned back on, things like that. There is 911 calls all up and down the strip in hotels like 3-4 blocks down the strip of people alleging there are shooters in the lobby, of people saying they hear shots in the hotels, of like 6-7 different hotels on the strip.
Yes.
There are people that see people running around with guns. And remember, just one shooter in just one room. He never left. Have committed suicide. And people are seeing people with guns in other places. The 911 calls.
You have an incident like this, right? You have people that are police officers that are responding.
Yes.
Some are going to be clothed.
Yes.
Some are going to be plain clothes. Some are going to be in uniform and undercover.
Yes.
So when that call comes out, you're going to have people running through the hotel room, and it might be fucking cops.
Yeah.
Right? Now, his theory of helicopters, right in front of Las Vegas Boulevard, there's a company called Helicopter Tours. They do Grand Canyon tours. They do Las Vegas Boulevard tours.
The strip tours.
Strip tours, right? So they fly in and out all the time up until I think 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Right? Who knows? Who knows, right? But they could be anywhere from 4 to 5 police helicopters flying. Now you have the Metro Police officer that's going to be covering that incident. And then you also have the media helicopters that are flying covering the concert, right? Not necessarily because they heard of what happened. They're just there, hey, look how many people are here at this concert.
Right.
So you're going to have multiple helicopters flying around. No transponders were turned off. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. The fact that you're saying they turned off and then they turned back on, how do you know? Who told you?
Yeah.
It's not like something they just put out there for everybody.
Yeah.
I talked to them. I have 3 really good friends in the air unit, right? They're pilots, cops, and then you have to become a pilot. They were working that night. There was our main helicopter flying around. Of course it's flying around. Why is it weird that a helicopter is flying around? We have a guy shooting out of a hotel into a crowd, right? At a concert. Yes, a helicopter is going to be flying around watching. They need to monitor it. They need to get intel. They need to give us information. So yeah, of course they're flying. Were their transponders turned on and off? No. Were the helicopters doing anything sneaky out there? No. I saw the air unit. Matter of fact, I told the air unit that there was a strobe light in one of the windows about 10 floors beneath the suspect's room, and I told them they needed to check that out, and they did. So we were in constant communication with the air unit all night. There's no mystery there.
Let's clarify a thing here. The air unit is always up.
Yes.
Right? He might be at a different area command doing their patrols up there.
Right.
When the call comes out, they're going to beeline straight to the hot zone.
They're going to fly right to the active shooter, and they're going to stay there. They're going to hover around. They're going to do whatever they can. Will the helicopter shoot? No. They will not shoot at somebody. Now, had SWAT brought an officer, a sniper, into a helicopter and then the helicopter takes a position a couple hundred yards away, right, and hovers, the sniper could take a shot then, right? This is what I'm told. The sniper could take a shot, but they didn't do that this night, all right? By the time SWAT was advised and everybody was getting down there, right, it was over, right? So can that happen? Of course. Now, as far as people like saying, I thought it was basically Mumbai. We all did, right? Where Mumbai happened in 96 or 97. So they took over 6 hotels. That's what we thought was happening. So when you have somebody who's shot, right? If Gonzo and I are at a concert, right? And we run into, this was happening at Mandalay Bay, but I run into New York, and I say, hey, there's a guy out there shooting. The person at the desk is going to call the police and say, hey, 911, yeah, there's a guy shooting. Yeah, there's a guy right in here in front of me. He's all bloody. He's saying there's a guy out there with a gun. Okay, now 911, dispatch, we have a shooter at New York. Mm-hmm. That happens all the time. That doesn't mean there was one. It's victims coming into a hotel saying that there was a guy shooting and that they're injured. So when they call 911, they're explaining to them, or they're not explaining, oh, it was part of this, it's part of the shooter at Mandalay Bay. They were at the concert. Who has time to get all that information? They're just saying, holy shit, you're shot. There's a shooter right out there. Okay. 911, yeah, there's a shooter over here at New York. That's how fast.
And it happened all the strip down the strip.
It happened down the entire strip. That's why if you go back and watch our video, that's why I was going down the strip in a Mandalay Bay maintenance car to New York, because I heard there was an active shooter there and we're going to stop him. But there wasn't. It was just people running in, shot, bloodied. The cops, off-duty park rangers, anybody that had a gun that was carrying was prepared, and they had their gun out. Yeah, they weren't shooting people. They were waiting to see what the heck was going on, and I have my gun out so I can defend myself, yeah? Mm-hmm. If I'm at a park or at a place and somebody starts shooting, if I have my gun on me, I'm pulling it out because I want to defend myself, my family, whoever I can. Maybe I can take a shot at the shooter, maybe not. But that's why everybody kept calling, is people were running into other casinos. Yeah. Right? So everything that you're saying, I can completely 100% explain. It's not a conspiracy. It's not, oh, look at this report. That's exactly what happened, sir. I don't know how to tell you otherwise. I was there. I was there all night. All right, roll it, Steve.
Are coming in from everywhere. The helicopters are going off. There are people injured in weird places that don't make sense. There are streets being shut down by police in places that don't make any sense. And I found, and as I started to look for it, I just happened to Google, like I kind of get better and better at Google searching. Mm-hmm. And I just Googled Las Vegas shooting map. I guess I Brave browser searched it. And I turned up this file at this, I think the URL is vegasshootingmap.com. But if you search for Las Vegas shooting map on a couple different search sites, it'll be like within the first 4 hits, as long as you're not Google searching it. And that map is like a Google Maps file that someone has gone in and actually archived all of the original primary source data, like the actual 911 calls, the actual video files, the actual reports, the actual autopsies, all on the map where they occurred. And you can click on them and they're directly linked, and you can just go watch all the body cam footage, all the videos, all the reports, all the phone calls. You can listen to them for yourself. And it is so eye-openingly, mind-blowingly like, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah. Because obviously what we're being told
thousands of people getting shot will do that.
Misleading fabrication. But then starting to try to explain what it is like the next level. And there are multiple levels of conspiracy theories that get applied to it. And this one, more than almost any other conspiracy theory, is one that is clearly, there is a conspiracy. And actually, there is no clear answers as far as I've been able to establish yet. And I've talked to some very smart people that have done years worth of work on it on multiple sides. And some people have Saudi.
Rewind it about 3 seconds, okay?
Yeah, I don't give a shit who you talk to. You talk to intelligent people. You talk to people that weren't there, sir. So I'll throw this out there to Liberty Vault or whatever channel this guy is. You have us on your channel. We can explain to you the whole night. But this man is incorrect. It's not the biggest conspiracy theory of all time. How is it even conspiracy? Look, one guy came into a hotel. He was a high roller. He stayed in the same room. Every time he came in, he stayed in the same room. His wife or his girlfriend worked for Mandalay Bay. He was a high roller. He's a millionaire. They don't check your suitcases every time you walk through the door, sir. Okay?
I'll say this.
So it was easy for him to find this, to get the same room, bring up his guns. I don't understand the whole. So maybe because I was there.
So when he said it was chaos, it was chaos.
Of course it's chaos.
Let me explain this. Every area command has a set of officers that's called in the box.
In the box, yeah.
Okay. And they're going to be coming, when that call comes out, every area command is going to be sending that unit down.
Correct.
That's going to be, another 100 cops.
Another 100 cops, right? Yeah.
And they're coming from everywhere.
Yeah.
So if they're opening up streets or closing streets, it's for egress and degress purposes, and also to contain the scene.
Correct. And a lot of people, like the higher ups, I think it was John Pelletier who was in charge that night, and he's I know him. He's a friend of mine. These people, they weren't there. They didn't know what to shut down. They really didn't, and it's okay, because even as cops, we can't know everything. So when this guy is shooting at everybody and pure hell is breaking loose, what do you expect? Of course we don't know every street, which exact streets to shut down. I mean, it's not about making sense. It's about they're trying to start being able to get cops in and out, and first responders and ambulances in and out, right? That's what they're trying to do. We need to try to shut it down so we can make the area a little bit more safe. But you have 10,000 people at a concert, thousands of people getting shot. It is going to be utter 100% complete chaos.
Yep, and it was.
And it was. Yep. Why is that a surprise? It doesn't have to be a conspiracy theory to be chaotic. Of course it's chaotic. Yeah. If you go into a stadium during a football game and start shooting at everybody, is it going to be creative? Is it going to be crazy? Yeah. So,
roll, Steve.
Angles. Some people have angles of like that doesn't really fit because the thing is that a lot of the angle fits towards something happening on the roof of the Mandalay Bay and the structure on top that's actually owned by the Saudi government, and the Crown Prince bin Salman having recently taken the throne in Saudi Arabia, and Al-Talib being the dethroned Crown Prince, being tied to Mossad in a lot of ways, and the Khashoggi family who Epstein was smuggling guns with. So it's like a lot of people think there's like a shootout happening on the roof for some reason, and maybe the helicopters are exfiltrating, or actually guns or people are shooting out of the helicopters.
There was no shootout on the roof.
And that kind of makes sense in some ways for that piece.
No, it doesn't.
But then it's like, so why is there 60 people dead in a music festival down on the strip? And then like, why is this guy in this room with all this weaponry? It's like maybe a gun deal gone bad, but that doesn't explain the people in the concert. So maybe it's like they're attacking the concert to grab our guns, but that doesn't explain the helicopters and the automatic fire and the dude. You wouldn't even do it with the dude in a room. So it's like none of this, it has to be multiple things going on. It has to be one of the most complex. It's kind of like having a Jason Bourne movie happen in real life, and then all the civilians that were like next to the filming of the movie being like, what the fuck just happened? Wow. And then the government having to cover up, like Jason Bourne running through, Las Vegas.
This is the mystery you like to solve right here.
Yeah,
right?
it's wild.
Wow.
And it's interesting because you start to get to points where you realize that story is actually probably still playing out today. And it might have to do with some Trump stuff. It might have to do with some Saudi government stuff today. Because right now, Mohammed bin Salman, who might be involved in that, we don't know. He is currently in the middle of the Israeli peace talks with the various nations, because Saudi Arabia is like a key linchpin over there. So there's an element of like, it is so
I don't know if I can take so
shadowed right now, and you're not allowed to talk about it.
I am full
and
of
I
this
think
bullshit.
that's because it's still present in the current political machinations today.
Wow.
And if what really happened were exposed, certain things would unravel, is my guess.
Okay. So the Saudi government.
I will say this.
And there was a shootout on top of
maybe if he cut his hair, he'd get some fucking brains, bro. I don't know, dude. That was some bull.
I don't know where you got your info,
bullshit.
But I was there. I was there all night, from almost beginning to end. Actually, I was there till almost noon the next day. There was no shootout on the roof.
When he was talking about the angles, listen, the angles, when you're shooting down, the angles don't matter.
Angles are irrelevant. Plus, bullets bounce, they ricochet.
The thing is,
anything is possible.
The only time you have to change your elevation is when shooting uphill a little bit. When you're shooting up, you have to aim up. When you're shooting down, you just point it where you want to go, and a bullet's going to drop maybe a few inches, but that's it.
So, wow. Interesting video.
Conspiracy is deep, dude.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with, I'm going to call BS
100%
on everything that guy said.
100%.
It's
he had a few things that were right, but that's
what
common knowledge.
What did he say was
the initial report?
The initial report. Yeah, I'm in the initial report. The initial report is exactly what happened. I get it, man. I love conspiracies as much as the next guy. I really do. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes it is what it is.
The only thing we don't know is why he did it. That's the only thing we don't know.
And nobody will ever know.
Nope.
Nobody will ever know. You can't look for logic in an illogical act. It doesn't exist. You will not find it. There's no reason for somebody to shoot thousands of people at a concert, period.
You need to make a phone call.
Have you ever heard of Occam's razor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just have to take what it is for face value, right? Occam's razor is basically when you have a lot of scenarios, right? You choose.
It's your first initial thought.
Yeah, you choose the path of least resistance, right? Whatever is in front of you is probably what really happened. Instead of looking for all these conspiracies and all these special things, realistically, it is what it is. In this case, I saw the guy. I saw the room.
Yeah.
I was out on the field.
Yeah.
I had everything to do with the air unit, and I heard radio traffic all night.
Yep.
So if you really want to talk about it, whoever this guy is, whoever he is, if you ever see this, sir, you are wrong. Stop informing people, millions of people, of bad information, because I don't think the Saudis had anything to do with this.
No.
I think it was a pissed off guy.
Lost his money.
I don't know whether he lost his mind. I don't know. Again, we can't look for logic in it. This guy was extremely mad, and he decided to do what he did.
Mm-hmm.
By himself. There was nobody else there. I don't know what to tell you, man. Okay? Anyway. So reach out to us, sir, if you'd like us to come on your show and educate you on October 1st. Be more than happy to. Because this guy that you had on seemed like he did no research at all. You gave him a platform, and he just spewed bad information. Lies. We just cleared it up right now. Right. We can go watch our video. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Hit the like button. Subscribe.
Badoosh
The like button. Yep. We just got done filming a live. We got stuff to do. All right.
All day.
Thanks for watching.
And for those still serving, have a safe tour of duty, please.
Make a difference in someone's life. Stay classy, Las Vegas.
Always.
Badoosh that like button.
Yeah, badoosh it.
1 Sam 5 and 1 Sam 6. Copy of 425 call.
Copy. 1 Sam 5 en route.
1 Sam 6. Copy. En route.